Wanda is an enigma. They are completely different than most characters. In fact, they're probably the most controversial character in the game. Ever since she was added, Don't Starve Together has never been the same. And it's all because of what she can offer. Wanda is a timekeeper. She was brought into the DST world by a strange malfunction of her clocks. And because of that, her playstyle revolves all around her clocks and time. For normal characters, you spend a lot of time preparing a base of operations, collecting resources and making structures in order to maximize the items that the player collects, refining foods in crockpots, preparing plants for sustainability, and extending time that food lasts. For Wanda, all of that is a waste of time. In fact, a majority of things are a waste of time for her. Crockpots and racks for better food? Nah, don't need that. Just give me monster meats and I'll be fine. Wanda can run basically on scraps. This is thanks mostly due to her kit. Food is only for hunger and sanity for Wanda. She does not gain health from food, or any health for that matter. She is not the same as Wormwood, in that all health is ignored completely. She still takes damage from bad foods, but Wanda can just heal up. Wanda can only heal using her special items, because the way her health works is completely different than any other survivor. Wanda is constantly dying. If you sit around and only eat, Wanda will die. Wanda's health is instead replaced with an age system, 20 age being full HP and 80 age being death. Each age is worth about 2.5 HP and will tick upwards, getting higher closer to death you are. Each of her age forms have different properties. Young allowing Wanda to travel farther with her clocks, middle age having 20% shadow damage bonus and a 33% resistance to shadow magic items, and old age, which reduces her damage with normal weapons by 50%, reduces her crafting speed by 50%, but in turn she is immune to magical equip items, like shadow armor and the dark sword, and has even less sanity loss from staff usage. She also has a 75% increase in damage towards shadow items. Determining what age you should be as Wanda is part of her main gameplay, because you don't always want to be a certain age throughout a play session. It's good to mix and match for the situation at hand. As you play Wanda, she will lose 12 age a day, or 30 HP, meaning she will die after 5 days from full HP if the player does not heal. She has a watch when she spawns that will heal 8 age on use, and has a cooldown of 2 minutes. This watch is what makes Wanda not care about a lot of things in the game. You can heal 32 age per day per watch. Wanda naturally loses 12 age a day, so that means every day you can take 20 age or 50 damage for free every day. If you try that with any other character at the start of the game, you are just dead. Not only that, this watch allows you to live absurdities that other characters cannot. The only problem with this watch is that it won't save you if you're taking a constant stream of damage, like from freezing, overheating, or starvation. While these happen, Wanda can't heal, and will continue to take damage while her clocks go into cooldown. These types of damages are Wanda's main enemy. They are the main killers for players who choose to stay old consistently. And that's kind of the problem Wanda has. The player is never always at full HP. The fluctuation of her HP can get her killed, because if you're not used to what age equals what health, you may end up taking fights that are dangerous. Other than that, Wanda is pretty carefree, but if she is not ready, she can easily die. Her gameplay usually starts with trying to find caves early on, so the player can start collecting thulecite for her timepieces. Or if you get an early orb spawn, you can farm a bunch of pieces from the portal. Either way, building up timepieces for her clocks is the main goal for Wanda, as they are the main aspects of her gameplay. No need to gather resources for anything else, all Wanda needs is her clocks. This also ties to her weapon of choice for the majority of her gameplay, and that's the alarming clock. This thing right here is why a lot of things changed in the game. How did it do it? Well, it's because what the alarming clock is. This is a ranged melee weapon. It has about twice the range of standard weapons, and the only weapons that tie with it are considered really bad because they lack damage. But the alarming clock does not lack damage. When it is fueled, the clock does 81.6 damage normally, 97.2 while middle-aged, and 142 while old. This is where people say Wanda is a glass cannon, because to take advantage of the 142 damage, the player must stay effectively at 37 health. But to me, I feel like damage is not really what matters for her weapon. It is nice, yes, and allows you to do things with less damage done to Wanda, but in reality, it's the combination of the range and the damage that really breaks this item. Because without fuel, the alarming clock acts exactly like an infinite Tale of Three Cats. Acts damage and boosted range. It's actually surprisingly good, yet you'll never see a Wanda use the unfueled alarm clock. Small creatures? Just one tap them easily, or outrange them completely. Mini bosses? Basically don't even need to move to kite. Shadows? They can't even hit you most of the time. Even bosses are not immune to Wanda's wrath. Certain bosses get stunned to death and will never get an attack in because of the range of the clock. Claws in the last phase of Champion come to mind here. Certain mechanics of fights were completely removed because of the range of the clock. Claw's sack no longer having collision was because Wanda could stand on one side and just unlock Claws. Celestial Champion also chooses attacks based on the range of the player, and there is a sweet spot on phase 3 where Champion will only do melee attacks. Wanda can avoid these and still do damage with her clock. Also, many of the creatures in the world were given hit stun resistance, meaning that if they got hit too quickly, they will just ignore the following attack in order to get out of stun. If they didn't, they would just get destroyed by Wanda and her watch. It kinda just shows that DST was not designed with Wanda in mind. In addition to her combat, it's a backstep watch. I tried to use this as a mobility tool early on since it sounds like it would be great when you're young, but I guess I forget that it just exists. Most of the time I would just end up messing up my markers. If you were to talk to more seasoned Wanda players, they'll tell you how they use it mostly to dodge attacks. The timing for dodging is actually kind of hard when you get older, because the amount of invincibility frames you get is lower based off of how old you are. So when you're really old, you have much less time to block hits. Her true mobility tool is probably the backtrack watch, the one that costs a walrus tusk. This one is really strong because you can put an anchor point anywhere in the world and teleport to it. It's really nice. And on multiplayer, you could also take your friends with you if you use a purple gem. I don't really got much to say on this watch, other than it will make it feel like Walrus Tusk drop rates decrease while Tam O'Shanter's increase. In addition to multiplayer, there's her second chance watch, which is primarily only for multiplayer use. You can revive other players with it, and you can also revive yourself, but it ends up breaking. So you are more likely better off with amulets. Wanda is actually pretty crazy in multiplayer. She is a really great support character that does not eat into the supplies that every other survivor needs. Wanda basically acts as like a free character, only ever needing food to sustain herself, and not even that much. Wanda herself felt like she was the embodiment of a DLC character. Don't like these things in the game? Here's a character that will completely ignore them. Wanda is certainly a strong character, but I kinda found her boring, especially when playing solo. She felt much more fun with a group to play off of, playing as a support and being the timekeeper as she always was. Thanks for watching the Wanda video, I hope you enjoyed. Wanda is interesting, but she kinda made the game a little too trivial. There are many times where I found things in the game and thought, oh, this is useful, but then I realized I'm Wanda and it doesn't matter for me. I feel like she cuts off too much of the game and doesn't interact with the world as much as other characters. But hey, that's just me. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I have a sale going on for merch down below. Use the code TERRA5K on checkout to get 10% off your purchase. It'll only last until the end of April, so make sure you get into the deal. Till next time, this has been Terra, and take care.